today we're gonna make a 6.5 or 6x8 layout, and I'm gonna use a couple of different stamp sets. I think we'll figure it out. I'm gonna start with the stamp and thin cut from the Celebrate Today card making workshop. So you get this in a card making workshop. That's how you get the stamp and thin cut set. So it comes with 3 dies, one for the balloon, the flower, and the foliage. And then it comes with different sentiments to create Celebrate style cards. And so it comes on a nice carrier sheet, magnetic carrier sheet for your dies, and then obviously the carrier sheet for your stamp. So that's the main stamp that we're going to work with today. I have a few extra supplies just kind of off to the side. So the basis of this is to have a very big focal point of a 4x6 photo. So that will go at the top. And so I just have a photo placement here to show that. The bottom part is going to be in eggplant. So this is a really pretty color, eggplant. And then we're going to put some focal points on here. We're going to dovetail these, add some things. But one of the things that I want to do is I want to grab this little heart from the January stamp of the month. It's this really tiny heart right here. And I want to create a background on this eggplant paper so that it's not so stark. And you don't have to do this, but I just think it's super cute. And I'm going to get some White Daisy cardstock to do this with. Not cardstock. I'm going to get some White Daisy ink to do this with. This is a pigment ink, and so the reason why we're going to do this first and then do the rest of our stamping is because it's going to take a little bit longer for it to dry. So I am just going to ink this up and get it really nice. And I'm going to kind of zoom in here so that you can see what I'm doing. And hopefully I remember to zoom out. So I'm just going to go in somewhat of a random pattern. Again, this is pigment ink, so it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to kind of blend in. It's not going to be super subtle. I'm not going to put any embossing powder on top of it. I'm okay that if it doesn't come out looking like a heart. My basis for this is just to create some dimension and some contrast to everything else that's going on. And so I'm just randomly stamping this everywhere you can see here. As this dries, you know, it won't be stark white, and that's okay. And I'm, again, not going to heat emboss it or anything like that. And you don't have to, as long as you give it an appropriate amount of time to dry. You don't need to heat emboss this with embossing powder, but the idea is to definitely do that. So just really quick, it takes no time at all just to add this little subtle background here, and I am almost done. Very nice. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom out and we can get back to creating. I'm going to set this off to the side. It shouldn't take too long for it to dry because it is very small and subtle. So I'll put that off to the side to dry, and then we'll start the rest of the project. Okay, so let's start by putting that off to the side. Like I said, these 2 pieces are going to get dovetailed, which I think we all know what dovetail is, where you just find approximate center point of your piece. Oh, that's not it. There we go. And then you cut from corner to that end mark, and then you create a dovetail. Okay, so we're going to do that twice, once on each one of these, and we'll create a little banner by doing that. Very simple, very great way to just add a little character to your project without a whole lot of effort. So those are going to go on the top. Now let's come in with the rest of our stamping. And so then I have these really pretty flowers right here, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to stamp these in eggplant. So it's going to be like a tone-on-tone stamping. The difference is one side is a darker shade than the other. So I think I grabbed an older stock of paper. Typically that's the go mark on that. And then if you have a stamp set like this, where the design is in a particular fashion, okay, so what I mean by that is this isn't symmetrical, so I can't just stamp it down. I really need to pay attention to where my die cut piece is. So just take your piece that you cut out, your die piece that you cut out, and line it up with your carrier sheet image. So now I have that all lined up, and I know that it goes like this, and I can take my block and come in and marry that up to right where it needs to be. And now I know that when I stamp, it needs to go down like this. So I'm going to make sure that all of my pieces are this way. So it's just going to take a little bit of time to make sure. And then I am going to put this on top because we've said that this goes like so. Make sure it's straight on my block. Good. This is a brand new stamp set, so I'm going to go ahead and season it up. And that's how I do that. Just stamp it on here. I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper. Tap, 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 twist, twist, tap, tap. And just kind of give it a good run over. Now I'm ready to stamp out on my project. When I stamp down, I'm going to go straight down, straight up, and that will give me a nice little impression. Tap, tap, twist, twist. And I'm not looking straight down on this because the camera's right there, so a couple of these might be a little bit off. Sorry about that, but it's no big deal. We'll work with it. I've got a little thing I want to add to this. I'll try and get this a little bit straighter. Did I move that? I moved it. Perfect. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to come in with the white daisy again. And we have one more thing to stamp. I'm going to stamp a set of leaves, and we're going to do that in fern. But I want to come in with my white daisy. I'm going to bring my project to this, and I want to just kind of ink the edges of it. Okay. It's kind of like just redoing what you normally do if it was another, like a distress with a brown ink. You know, sometimes we'll do that, add some little emphasis on things. So I just kind of wanted to come in with that white. I'll put it over here so you can kind of see it. And now the last thing I want to do is I want to come in with some fern. This is a fern cardstock right here. Oh, New England Ivy, sorry. It's New England Ivy, and then this is the lighter side. So I'm going to come in with the New England Ivy here. Actually, time out. I'm going to come back in with the white daisy. So I'm going to stamp this, get it nice and inked up. And I'm going to stamp this piece, sorry about the, in the white daisy on the New England Ivy, the light side of it. And I believe there. And I just think that's really cute to do that. So I'm going to put that off to the side also. So we have all these really cute little pieces to use. So this piece right here, very dry. I can just rub my finger over it. I don't get anything transfer. So I'm going to push these pieces off to the side. And you could definitely see this piece is still wet. Pick it up a little bit. And you can see the glare on it when you turn it. So I definitely need to give that some time to dry. All right, so let's zoom back out. So you can kind of see what's going on here. And put our pieces together. This is going to go on the bottom. And so that just gives this, that white daisy, the little subtle stamping just kind of gives it a little something to work with. So it's not so plain Jane. This is a great way if you don't have pattern paper to create your own, which A lot of people do that. A lot of people don't get pattern paper. Instead, they invest in stamps and inks to do that. So now I have my piece here. My picture is going to go here. Now, on purpose, I made this just a little bit bigger than what my picture is, just so that my picture can overlap this section. And it's just slightly, like an 1/8 of an inch, or not even that, to be honest with you. I just wanted a little bit of an overlay. I know this is upside down right now, but I'm just trying to show you what I was doing. So that's where my picture will go. And so I'm going to add my banners down here. And since I know that that's going to be an overlap with my picture, I just kind of want to bring it down a little bit. And then this banner is going to go right here, like so. And I'm going to come in with some white gross grain ribbon and tie it off down here and do a little bow with that, so that'll be super cute. So let's get those adhered down. I want to go up just a hair. Perfect. Love it. And right up to the edge, I'm going to come down. Then I am, oops, he's a little crooked, isn't he? Still a little crooked. Hello. There. Well, now he's not on top. Say now. This is one of my favorite things to do, is like when I put my videos up, I don't edit them entirely too much unless one of my kids like comes down and starts asking for something, then I'll edit that out. But otherwise, and even then sometimes I don't. But I try not to edit this out too much because I think instead of this going straight across, I'm going to do just a bow. Because I think it's important that you see the mistakes. I think it's important that you see that I'm not perfect and that it's okay to go ahead and make mistakes in your work. This is some gold, and I think maybe I'm going to come in with this instead. Embellishing thread, not embossing thread, sorry. And I think I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times. I think the white is too big after I looked at it. And we've got enough white going on that I think we're okay to not do that. So I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times. And then I will just use a glue dot to secure it in the back. Yeah, it's a little wasteful to go ahead and wrap it around the whole back of this. But it's not very, I mean, you could use glue dots and do it that way. Okay, I like that. And then I'm just going to bring it so it meets over here. So all I have to do is use one glue dot for it. I could have cut it into strips and just kind of adhered each one down there. That would have been just fine. And grab a glue dot. Do I not have one? I do have them. I've put them away. I cleaned my craft room, and so I've put them away in a really, really good spot. This is not going to work very well, but I'll just try doing this. It might work just fine. There. And then I'll just take an old piece of some washi tape and secure it on top so that it covers the sticky, right? Doesn't stick to your inside of your album or what have you. Not going to go anywhere. And then I can just tuck that piece over there. There's a little piece sticking out. And just cut that washi tape off so it's even. There. I like that. I'm okay with that. I don't need a bow. I think it looks good just like it is. Plus this embellishing thread, it's not very friendly to tie. It kind of works on itself out. So there's that. Okay, so let's add some of our flowers. I want to bring these in. I'm going to have that come up over my picture, and then this is going to tuck in here. Lovely. So nice little, and I'm going to add, once I get these adhered down, I'm going to add some shimmer to these flowers to kind of spruce them up a little bit. And then we have one last piece to do, and that's to add some stamping. I think I'm going to pop it up over here a little bit. I want to add a really cute little sentiment. I want to make sure that there's no adhesive right here, but I want to add a really cute sentiment from the January stamp of the month. Okay, so I'm going to add this one. I didn't put any adhesive there that we can slide my picture in and it doesn't do anything. This one I'm going to put some 3D foam up on it, and it's going to come over here, and then I'll add my leaf in. I like, if you've watched any of my videos before, I like using the centerpieces from the shaker kit, because in the shaker kit you don't use the centerpieces typically, and so it's a great way to get more bang for your buck. And the subtle white that we put on the edge of the flowers comes out really nicely. It's a nice little contrast, so I like that. And this is just going to kind of go right on top. It's going to cover a couple of these up. I'm just making sure that none of the adhesive is off on anything, and then I'm going to stick that there. So I'm just going to put a little adhesive on the bottom so it can stick in like so, but I can still slide my picture in. My sticky, oh yeah, I got it stuck there. There we go. And still slide my picture in beautifully, and that's going to look nice, except my picture will be right side up and not upside down. Haha. Okay, so one of the things that I want to come in is I want to put this stamp set that says Seek Everyday Magic. I want to put it right here, but I really want it to stick out. So one of the techniques I kind of like is when you take, again, we're going to work with that white daisy. I take a sponge. I'm going to move this off to the side so I don't get my project. I'm going to practice on this piece right here. So you're going to sponge up, you know, and then you're just going to very lightly, and I have a heavy hand, so this is really hard for me, is just kind of create a stamping area. Okay, and so why you want to go lightly and kind of do like it fades out into your project or whatever, so then you have a place to stamp your image on. So I just kind of wanted to test it out to make sure I got my hand at a good space before I brought my project in and did that. And so hopefully it helps blends in with some of those other hearts that we added already. There we go. And so I want to put it here, and I'm going to stamp it in black ink so it really pops. And so just a very light hand, and then I can come in and kind of smooth out any strokes from or designs that are from the sponge, and just kind of keep working it until I'm satisfied with the texture of it. And I'm going to kind of go bigger to kind of give it that fade in, fade out look. So I'm going to kind of come in and out. So I know it doesn't look like much right now, but it will if you just give me a second. And I'm going to come in this down here and my black ink. I do have some of the older pads. I haven't upgraded all of them. As they run out of ink, I will do so. Until then, so I've got this, I think, done quite well. Stamp, twist, twist, tap, tap, twist, twist, tap, tap. Okay, and then here, let's see if the magic works. I'm going to go straight down, and I should have waited a little bit since that's pigment ink for it to dry, so it may not have the crisp, ooh, it does, image that I wanted. So I really love that. That come out really nice. All right, so now I'm going to come in and I'm going to add some Julep glitter gems with this. I think they're super cute. So I want to go a triangle. That's what I'm looking for here. So I'm going to come over and just do 3 down here. Oops. 3 pieces. And I don't press them down until I have their placement right where I want them. That way I have the option to move them. There we are. And there is my 6x8, 8x6 mini layout page. Very cute. The color combo came from a suggestion from the Love of Color book from Close to My Heart. So that's where I came up with eggplant, fern, and New England ivy to use on here. The white daisy was my addition along with the black. And then the last thing I want to do to kind of finish this up is to go ahead and add some shimmer. And this is the clear shimmer to the flowers. And just kind of make them pop a little bit, make them stand out like that they don't already stand out, but and just kind of work with that a little bit. And you can see their nice pretty shimmer on there. And then your picture goes up at the top. That look nice. I love it. Very subtle, very cute. And this goes great for a plethora of activities that could be happening or going on, or just I could see I already have a picture in mind to put on here. It's on my phone. It's my daughter and my grandmother you know, just sitting and having a conversation with each other. The best that a 2-year-old and a 98-year-old can have a conversation, and just the look of in their eyes. So this is going to be a perfect picture for this layout. You guys are amazing. A list of supplies will be located right on my blog. So if you're interested in any of the supplies that I used today, you can hop on over to my blog, read about them there, and snag them from my shopping website if you would like to. Have a wonderful day.